Hi, Albert here with Mainland Cycle Center. Today I want to show you a 2016 Kawasaki ZX6R. This is the 636 and the KRT edition, the Kawasaki Race Team graphics. Very cool looking bike. I love the graphics on this bike. Really pops. You know, these 600cc Super Sports, 600cc class, we should say 600cc class, because this bike is 636 cc's. So Kawasaki, I guess, maybe is cheating a little bit, but 636 cc's really gives it that extra 36 cc's, a little more power. These bikes really run good, but it is just amazing to me how fast these 600cc sport bikes are. They're just amazing, and I think they're really a fantastic value for the performance and the quality of the machine that you are getting. And I say that really not only about the Kawasaki, because Kawasaki is building some of the best quality motorcycles that they have ever built, without a doubt. They're better now than they've ever been, and they've always been good. And but the quality, the attention to detail that Kawasaki puts into these bikes is absolutely amazing. Very high quality bikes, virtually no problems with these modern sport bikes. The majority of problems we see with any of the products, a lot of times is customer inflicted, to be honest, but these bikes, truly amazing. The horsepower that they're putting out, how light they are, just absolutely incredible. And then the electronics is just getting more and more sophisticated on them all the time. But so inline 4-cylinder motor, dual overhead cam, liquid cooled, fuel injected, all that is pretty standard. That's not new. One of the cool things about the Kawasaki is that it has a cassette type transmission. Most motorcycles, a lot of motorcycles anyway, in order to service the transmission on that motorcycle, you've got to remove the motor from the motorcycle, from the frame, and then totally disassemble the motor and split the cases. And this bike has what's called a cassette type transmission. So remove the fairing, remove the clutch cover, remove the clutch, and then the transmission will pull right out of the side of the cases here, and the transmission is serviceable without removing the motor from the frame. So instead of having a 2-day job repairing a transmission, this may be a 2 or 3 hour job. So a very cool feature. You'll probably never have to do that, but it's nice knowing that if you do need to, that it's not a big hairy deal. So I really dig that. Also, the Kawasaki's have what's called a positive neutral finder. So if you're in first gear and you come to a stop and you kick the transmission up to neutral, it will go to neutral. I would bet you 99 times out of 100 it's going to go right to neutral, and that is really a cool feature. If you're a Kawasaki owner, you know that. When you get on somebody else's, another brand bike that doesn't have that feature, and you're hunting for neutral, it's a real pain, and really makes you appreciate the positive neutral finder on these bikes. This bike is equipped with traction control. This is the non-ABS model. There is an ABS version available. The ABS version is about $1,000 more, but this does have the traction control. And so with the traction control, basically you can set, there's 3 different modes on that, plus you can turn it off. Contrary to a lot of people's belief, the traction control really doesn't limit the power unless there's wheel slip, maybe somewhat in mode 3, but it's not really changing the power delivery so much as it is killing it when it anticipates wheel slip or when it experiences wheel slip. So traction control is your friend. It really is a good thing. These electronics are becoming more and more common, even in the racing. Those guys are taking advantage of those electronics because you simply cannot react as fast as the computer can, and at least not most of us. Showa front forks, inverted front forks. These are the separate function big piston forks. So what does that mean? Separate function means that one fork has the spring preload settings and the spring in it. The other fork has the dampening cartridge in it, and so you would set your dampening on this side and your spring tension on this side. So what does that accomplish? It accomplishes having a little less weight because you don't have a spring in this side, and you don't have a dampening cartridge on this side, so you've got one spring, one dampening cartridge, but it also lets you have a higher quality dampening cartridge because you're not trying to fit a dampening cartridge and a spring into one fork. You know, the fork's only so big, there's only so much real estate in there, there's only so much that you can put in there. So really a cool things that they're doing there. Great instrumentation, analog tachometer, digital readout on the speedometer. Of course, it's got a clock. It'll tell you your power mode, your traction control mode, all that stuff. It does not have a fuel gauge, but it does have a fuel warning light, and it will tell you the fuel light will come on when you get low on fuel. This bike is a high-performance motorcycle, so they do recommend 90-plus octane fuel. Two-piece seat, kind of a non-slip surface there. It has a little Ninja logo embossed on it. I hope you can see that. LED rear tail light. These are really cool. It makes kind of like a Z on each side, and really looks great. Clear turn signal lenses. This does have, of course, disc brakes front and rear, and it does have the pedal style rotors. So these little cuts in the rotors allow more surface area to dissipate heat. Got a nice little green stripe on the wheel with the 636 logo there. And then 4-piston Nissan calipers radially mounted on the front, and then you've got a floating rotor on the front there. So a pedal style rotor, and it's also a floating rotor. These bikes are also ram air, so as you're driving down the road, air is being forced into this duct, and that of course adds to the horsepower, especially at high speed. Aluminum chassis, aluminum swing arm. Like I said, just amazing, the technology and the quality and the performance that you get out of these bikes for the money. I think they're an excellent, excellent value. And again, very high quality, made in Japan. All right, well, that's a look at the 2016 Kawasaki ZX6R 636 Ninja, and this is the KRT edition graphics. All right, we are Mainland Cycle Center. We're located in Marque, Texas. We're about 30 minutes south of downtown Houston, just off of I-45. You can find us online at mainlandcyclecenter.com, by phone at 409-948-4969, and we would just love it if you'd give us a call, shoot us an email, or even better, come by and see us in person here at Mainland Cycle Center, where we'd love to help any way that we can. Hey, thanks for watching.